What up, everybody? It's your boy Big Mike Fulton with another installment of one of my views. First off, we're going to pay homage and respect. Peep game. Your boy got the t-shirt game on lock. This is just the beginning. Yeah. So, let's get into this NBA Finals Game 1. If that's what you want to call it. Pull out my notes here. First off, I want to say the Heat made me think that I was right about them not getting swept. The way they came out in that first quarter, 23-10 was the score at one point. And I'm sure everybody was surprised, except for maybe everybody in Miami and that bench. But the King and the Brow took over, and that was that. They had some help from the bench. KCP was good, 13 points. But AD was a monster, 34, 9, and 5. King messed around, almost had a triple-double, 25, 13, and 9. That's to be expected from him, though. Rondo had 10. Kyle Kuzma had 8 assists that came in big time towards the end of the game. And that was the Lakers side. Jimmy Buckets had 23 and 5 assists. Tyler Hero had 14 points. Kendrick Nunn had 18 points, came in. Actually did well, but was too little too late because they were already down 32 by the time he was placed into the game. So it's a little bit of a shame, but get your shine when you get your shine. Which seems like more than an if now, but if Dragic and Bam Adebayo don't play, Heat are getting swept. There's no question about it. Feel bad saying that. All my Miami Heat fans, all my people down there in South Beach in Florida, all those fans. Don't be surprised if they pull the brooms out. It's a shame, though, because it shouldn't come down to that, but, the best ability is availability in the end of it all. So, excuse me, now, let's move on and get into Thursday Night Football. Broncos versus the Jets. Jets, Jets. Virtual Fireman Ed was cursing at his screen, I know, the whole night. I'm going to go into the Jets first because I got a bunch of Jets fans that I play football with myself. Dave Baldwin Baldy, what's up? Shout out. Adolph Lumumba. What's up, family? Love you. Jesse Miranda. My man. Trying to think of my Jets fans. I guess there's a couple more. Adam Gase needs to go. They say, and I pay attention to these type of things, you can see when a team quits on their coach. But if a player's smart, they also know that they're on the clock too. What they put on tape is what all the other teams see when they might be in need of somebody in their position. So the fact that they quit on their coach and it's shown on tape, the tape don't lie. Ever. So if that's seen, you can forget about most of these teams trying to put you on unless you like super talented. But if you're super talented, it might be even easier to see that you quit. So, and granted, this is the pro league. Everybody that's there is a beast. They made it to the pros. But I'm going to watch this game again. I watched a good amount of it. I want to say 85% of it. And I'm almost speechless about this. The Jets were about as undisciplined as a team could possibly be. Now, let's do some quick math here. They had 5 personal fouls. 5 15-yard penalties. What's 5 times 15? Mike, I think that's 75. So, in just 5 personal fouls, you gave up 3/4 of the field. Just 5 penalties. I didn't even check the number on penalties, but you will never win that way. Ever. Ever. And that lack of discipline falls directly on the coach. That's your squad. You're supposed to be getting them ready. The head coach is the one that oversees it all, puts it all together, puts it in the pot, mixes it, and serves it. The head coach. Now they have, it's a friends league because friends hire friends. And your reputation precedes you, who you work for precedes you. Adam Gase, like Vic Fangio, are Mike Martz's disciples. They worked under him. So it makes sense that all these people go after Adam Gase because he's a brilliant offensive mind. Which to me makes him a coordinator, not a head coach. Let's just get that out there. Deeper into the numbers for the Jets. Sam Darnold was their leading rusher last night. No Le'Veon Bell. He didn't play. He's injured. Darnold, 23 of 42, 230. Sacked 6 times, 54 yards. 72.9 QBR. 70.5 passer rating. QBR is passer rating is bleh. But he also has 6 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown. The touchdown was like a 46-yard run. Jameson Crowder with 7 receptions and 104 yards. That's pretty much all you can speak of about the Jets. Is those 2 guys. Other than how horribly undisciplined they were. The Broncos, on the other hand, I know I'm getting old because anytime I see a quarterback's name or a player's name that I grew up watching and it's their nephew or their son, I'm like, I can feel that gray hair growing out my chin. You know what I'm saying? I can feel it. Brett Rippon, 19 and 31 for 242, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. One was a pick six. To be Eric Desir, who they picked on all night, but after that one catch that Jerry Jeudy had over his head, he balled out. He did his thing. And he might have had the sickest interception I've ever seen in my life. He went Chris Carter, next level interception, toe tap, toe drag, swag. Unbelievable. Continuing ripping, his QBR was 63.6 and his passer rating was 67.6. Mel Gordon, 23 carries, 107 yards, almost 5 yards a carry, pair of touches, and a big 43-yard run where he ran into the line, bounced out, and Brett Rippon actually made a nice block down the field for him, and Mel Gordon just took it to the crib. Receiver Tim Patrick, 6 catches, 113 yards, 18-8 on the average, a touchdown out of 7 targets. Jerry Jeudy, 2 catches, 61 yards, that big touchdown he had out of 4 targets. And Noah Fant, who ended up getting injured in this game again, 5 catches, 35 yards on 6 targets. And for those that don't know, the targets are how many times the receivers and tight ends get thrown at, and you can just figure out the rest. I want to say the NFL needs to try to maybe flex some of these games. It might be almost impossible to do during the pandemic. It may have been a high-scoring game. I don't know. There may be hope for the Broncos if they can get Drew Lock back. Brad Chubb is all right. He's still good, so. Losing Von Miller, of course, is big. Future Hall of Famer. One of the best to ever do it. That's going to hurt. It's tough. But the Jets. I thought the Eagles were bad. And they are. They stink. I don't know if there's a word to describe how bad the Jets are. I don't think they're adjectives in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, college edition, to describe the Jets. What made you hire Adam Gase to begin with? What did he do in Miami that made you think, oh, maybe he can come here and straighten this one out? And last year, you weren't that bad as the Jets. If Sam Darnold stays healthy, you're actually much better than what you were. You weren't that bad last year. You were on the cusp, and now you're vomit-inducing. It's bad. I feel bad for Jets fans. Because ownership don't give a good goddamn about them. If they did, you wouldn't see what you see on the field. That's just point blank. Couple more things before I go. This is running long, so some of these are going to be like that. Some of them won't. But want to touch on the Doc Rivers hiring in Philly. Not sure about the numbers yet. I know it's a 5-year deal. For all those saying you trade Ben Simmons, you do not. Not yet. You bring in shooters. You don't let J.J. Redick and Jimmy Butler walk out the door. That's what you don't do, number one. But since they did, you don't grab Al Horford. Tobias Harris, yes. Al Horford, Doc can make it work, but he needs to bring in shooters. He can bring in shooters. We can see what we can do. I mean, like, that team that year, 2 years ago when Toronto won it, they won off the luckiest shot anybody's ever seen. 4 or 5 bounces on the rim, then it goes in? You gonna tell me that ain't luck? I might wear my frustration a little too easily for y'all to see, but that's all right because it's real. But Doc Rivers coming into Philly is there's no way you can't like this. There's no way. They regressed since Brett Brown was there. They went from damn near eliminating the eventual NBA champions of that year to getting beat down by the Celtics. And I mean beat down. I'm still pissed at Brian Colangelo because he let Jason Tatum go to Boston and took Markelle Fultz. Where's he? In Orlando on their bench. He was a first-round pick on a team that didn't win 9 games in college. Where'd Jason Tatum go again? Oh, yeah. Coach K will tell you. Now, on an entertainment note, y'all saw the shirt. People think Black Panther, which is cool. I get it. But Chadwick Boseman was much more than that. I can give you 4 names that he's played that have been big African Americans in sports and entertainment and just history itself. He was in the Ernie Davis story as Floyd Little, Hall of Famer. Denver Broncos. Y'all know him as Jackie Robinson, 42. You should know him as James Brown. Get up on the good foot. Or get on the good foot, excuse me. But you may not know him as Thurgood Marshall. Google that name, young folks. Thurgood Marshall. You knew who Ruth Bader Ginsburg was? You need to know who Thurgood Marshall was. Thank you, Chadwick Boseman. You were outstanding black people in your roles. Outstanding. Iconic people. And we'll love you forever for it. Oh yeah, one more thing. We're going to be doing top 10 lists. First top 10 list. Name your top 10 most underrated MCs. Top 10. And when I say top 10, you give me 10 names in a row. You don't give me 13 talking about 2 are tied and then you want to add honorable mention. No. No honorable mention. A list of 10 names. The most underrated MCs ever. Dead or alive, it don't matter. Top 10. Give you a good chance to name 10 names. I don't want no honorable mention. I don't want no ties. Straight up list. And if you don't follow the rules, I'm going to put you on blast. Like, subscribe, share. One love.